Oh, yeah, they just have to, they've got to decide.
Question. So this
We're all ready.
is
Gotta turn these on. Right.
this
They're on.
ordinance amendment.
Hang on a minute. Let me double check.
No?
Format.
Oh, yeah, maybe they are.
They're on.
Okay, sorry. You ready? You got yours on?
It's on.
Okay. Everybody ready?
All right.
Okay, we'll call to order the April 15th, 2025 New Harmony Town Council meeting. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it. Welcome, everyone. First, we'll have a roll call.
Okay, Jeff Smotherman.
Here.
Rod Clark.
Here.
Connie Weinzapple.
Here.
Laura Arnberg. Here. Tom Williams.
Thank you. Next up, we have the approval of the minutes of the 3/18/2025 regular meeting. Everybody had a chance to look those over?
I move we approve.
Got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Have a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. The 3/11/220 noted on there, that was already done last month, so
Okay.
that was an executive meeting, yeah. Okay, next up, report of department heads. You want to start us off down there, Tom?
Sure. We've got our first mowing accomplished at the cemetery. If any of you want to venture up there, it looks like a park. It's beautiful. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot of new stuff. Our guys are waiting to get the big tree off the cemetery as the ground dries out a bit. As we all know, the trails are flooded. I'll be anxious to see how they look when the water goes back. But I think that's all. Yeah, I'll make it quicker.
Okay. Laura?
Just two things. We had 5 folks from One New Harmony go to the National Main Street Conference in Philadelphia last month. I think we all learned a lot. I definitely felt like it was worth the trip, and met a lot of communities from all over the country of different sizes and the programs they're doing and how their main streets are interacting with their town governments, and it was a great event. So I hope we get to implement some of those things here. The other thing I wanted to report on was the Wi-Fi grant from the county for the downtown area. So hopefully you've all heard we got the $25,000 in ARPA dollars from the county to the town to implement downtown Wi-Fi for visitors, and especially during the festivals that we have a lack of data signal. So I've been talking to everybody and trying to figure out the best way to actually administer this grant, and so that we don't put all these single checks and a lot of small dollars onto Ann and everybody here in the office. We decided it'd be best to give the money to One New Harmony. We'll sign an agreement with the town, which Nathan's going to draw up to administer the grant. So we can do that through our 501c3 arm. It'll be a lot simpler, and we're going to mostly be working with the downtown businesses who are all members, so it'll just make it easy. We can announce at the meetings, but I can announce tonight too. We're going to drop a geographical area that we're trying to focus on where most of our visitors are and the festivals are, and then businesses, individuals, and entities within that boundary can apply to be part of the program. So we're basically going to supplement a portion of your monthly internet expense in exchange for you putting a router in the window and having a free Wi-Fi signal available to the public. We'll supply the router, the labor to put it in, and then pay about half the internet cost, about $40 a month. And we've already got 5 businesses that said they would agree to do it, and then we'll just see who else applies to be part of the program. So then we'll do those as annual agreements. I think that was the only other big thing I have.
Thank you.
So, just a question. So Nathan is going to draw up the contractual arrangement, and then we'll vote on that next month? Okay.
Okay. I want to talk about streets. So I've been talking to Jonathan Weber about, now that it's spring and we hope to have a number of days to warm up the ground. I know people are concerned about filling holes in the streets that have been cut for one reason or another, usually water lines. So we're on that, and we hope to be able to do that within the next 2 weeks. There are requirements about the amount you can get. We physically go get the asphalt. So you know, we can't just do one hole at a time. That's kind of a misunderstanding I think people have about that. So now we've got several of them, so it'll be worth our time to do that. Jonathan is also putting together a list of all the unpaved alleys in town. Last month, there were a couple of people that came to the town council to ask about that, naming particular alleys. So I think we're going to look at all of them and maybe try to tackle the worst ones first. I'm sure we don't have enough money to do them all in one fell swoop. I wish we did, but I don't think we do. So that's it for me.
Thank you very much. Myself, I just had a couple of things. The fire department work in the facilities, that and the EMS area also is going on right now. Actually, today and tomorrow and I believe Friday on the floors, stripping, waxing, some LVT vinyl floors in some areas and some new carpet in some areas like the restrooms and stuff. Not restrooms, I'm sorry, bedrooms in the EMS side. Also, and you went to the meeting, I wasn't able to go. Was there anything you wanted to add about what's going on down there? I have a note of those guys are dire need always a volunteer firefighter,
Right.
new ones. And
They talked
stuff,
about
so-
that again. There has been kind of an appeal to young people particularly to consider volunteer firefighting. It's getting to a serious place in terms of people that volunteer for all these rural
Yeah,
fire departments.
It's not
So-
just our fire department.
No, it's
that's
everywhere.
The volunteers.
So they're trying to think of ways to address that.
Right, okay, good deal, thank you. We are working on, our town marshal is working on, I think he's out there somewhere, putting in a phone line. Ann, I think, is working with him on this. We're putting in a phone line for him here in town hall where you can call, non-emergency if you needed to chat with him, and it will leave him a voicemail, or it will directly forward to his phone the voicemail. So those are for things that you just might need to chat with him about, or something you're concerned with that you'd probably like to speak with him about to keep an eye on, or anything like that. So they've already got the number established, I believe, right, Ann, with AT&T, and then we just got to find an actual phone that works for his spot. So that's one thing we're working with our town marshal. Also, I had on mine, I volunteered to remind everybody about the paint out, which is next week, April 23rd, I believe, through the 27th, or I have it here somewhere. Oh, here we go. 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th is the first brush of spring. They've added, kind of like we used to do years ago, a picnic in the park that Friday evening, and everyone is invited to that. You need to give a heads up to them and order your I think it's $15 or something per person for that meal. And there's live music that evening, Friday night, in the paint out. So this is out. We'll be out on the desk too. You can scan it actually to order your tickets, but they do need those head counts on that pretty soon. They're trying to get a number on that. That's really all I had on that. And then that's all I have. Rod, you have any more on?
Yeah, I got a few things to talk about. I've been mentioning this, that Okra gives funding dollars to do an infrastructure plan. I have a team meeting with EREP about that tomorrow, just to kind of bring you all update. Still working on it. They kind of narrowed some of the focus on that, allows us to do it for specific utilities instead of your entire utility, because that was kind of causing some problems. So we'll have that meeting tomorrow with the EREP representatives and kind of give you all an update after that happens. Fire hydrant project is come and gone. Appreciate everybody's patience. Know that caused a little pain for everybody, but it was a necessary thing that we get finished up, and we got through it, and appreciate everybody's patience and everything with that. All the flooding does kind of affect our sewer plant down there. The guys have been dealing with that all day today, and it becomes a problem when you got water coming from one direction, a whole lot of water coming from the other direction, and it all ends up in the sewer plant. And it's caused some challenges and some issues, but they've been able to work through those, and they've been dealing with that today. Two more things. As most of you guys know, we've now that we have our code book of ordinances now all reorganized and put together, it's become a real initiative to go through our code book, really kind of paragraph by paragraph and reconsider, okay, are these things that are still relevant that, we need to have in there? It's a pretty big project because, that code's, 50, 60 years old. And as time goes on, things change and references to different state statutes need to be changed. So I've been going through it paragraph by paragraph, and I'm ready now to start to work with you all to kind of say, okay, here's where we're at with certain sections of the code, kind of taking it one title at a time. I'm going to ask that we have a special meeting for that. To do that here during a regular meeting, there's going to be way too much discussion and everything that we'll need to have about, well, why do we need to do that? Have we thought about this? There are a lot of things that's going to take some consideration. It's a pretty big deal, going in when you start changing your code. But there's a lot of stuff that needs changed, and a lot of things are just irrelevant and don't even exist anymore. So that's a real initiative, and I'm going to ask that we have a special meeting for that. Of course, the public's welcome to attend our special meetings, and you're welcome to set in, but this will be a slow process. And as we start to change things, the public will have a chance to make comments and everything. But I think we need to start with just us having a special meeting to go through it. So I'll tee that up for you, Mr. Chairman, to kind of decide when you can pull us all together to do that.
We'll send out an email for some dates to pull that together.
Last thing, and I know that you've all got a phone call over this. I told Jeff that I just handle it here during my comments. So there has been a request to the town. It is Kent Parker is the person that's requested. As you know, Ken has recently done an album, and he and the production company would like to film one of the music videos for his album, and would like to do that here in New Harmony. Which would be pretty exciting. They want to use a lot of town people to be in that video. And so it's kind of a fun opportunity for the town to get out there and be filmed by a professional production company. In order to do that, their request is, I'm sorry, let me get the dates. It's May 19th. And they're requesting that Main Street be closed during that video shoot from Tavern Street to Church Street.
End of the week. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what he
Said midweek.
Somebody got the 19th on your phone?
19th is Monday.
Yeah, I think 19th is a Monday, and then they will be in town for 2 more days after that. So in case the weather's really crappy or bad, then it might get pushed to one of the other 2 days. But they have made a request if we could close from Tavern to Church Street while they do the video shoot. 3 hours is the window they're looking at. Right now, I think they're planning on the morning of Monday the 19th. And then depending on weather, they may have to change it. So with that said, I think that probably needs a vote of council. And we need to, so I would make a motion that it's not a festival. So, there's not a festival application. It's just a request to close Main Street for that time period. So I would make a motion that we approve the closing of Main Street for this video production.
May 19th.
I'll just call it the 19th, 20th, and or 21st, depending on what the weather is.
Do we need to vote to have it on the agenda first?
It's on the,
It's not on the agenda.
Yes, I think we should.
it's not on the agenda, so I would request that we,
You're right.
yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I would request that we have a vote to place it on the agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to amend the agenda to
Yeah, I'll make
add.
that motion.
Okay, guys, a second, you mean? There's a motion and a second, correct?
Okay.
Okay, any discussion on that? I know I talked with Kent as well. Gonna be as most minimal effective, like, in affecting our businesses as possible. And we'll always, of course, he said he would be talking with each business owner in the area that they would like to do it in, and hopefully include them in parts of this too. So any other questions or thoughts or comments? Anybody? All right, have a motion. Do we have, and a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
Okay.
motion carries.
Well, no, the
I
motion
mean-
didn't carry. That was to put it on the
I'm
agenda.
sorry, I'm sorry.
So
Now-
now I
now-
would move that we approve
That gets me every
the 19th, 20th, or 21st to allow closing the streets. And Jonathan, wherever you're at, I think it just means bringing the barricades out and then they'll set them out themselves. So I would move that we approve.
Motion to approve. Second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion now on that regard?
Can we get a copy of whatever it is?
I have it.
No, but I mean, of the final product.
Oh,
Oh, the album or whatever?
don't
Because
know.
there
Oh,
could be
the
some good
video.
B-roll in there, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll see it. I'm sure we.
Here is, here, I can pass this around, I'll look at it. Here's kind of the script. And they want to use everybody here in town to do it with. And, just talking to Kent personally, he's like, look, we want to celebrate New Harmony with this video. And so we want people to be a part. I think there's going to be some dancing in the street involved, stuff like that. So it should be fun. Whether or not we can get a copy, I suppose
sure
you could
it'll be
probably live stream it on YouTube
Yeah.
anytime you wanted to.
I'm sure you can. All right, any other questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, now motion carries.
That's all I have.
I apologize. Okay. Moving on to open forum. Open forum is a moment or 2 moments to stand up and state your name. We'd like for you to come forward if you would. Oh, well, just a minute. Let me finish my spiel here, okay? Hang on. We'd like for you to come up here because a lot of people in home have said they can't hear us when people are speaking in the audience and stuff as well. So come up, state your name, and give us what you would like to speak about. It's not a Q&A, so no answers really, but we'll get back with you if there are answers needed. Okay? Who's first? Charles? Go ahead.
I'm Charles Bandy, and I just want to give some kudos to the council. I know they do a great job, but sometimes some of them do something beyond their job description. As I was leaving home one day last week, I live right across from Church Park, here's a big dead raccoon, at least 3 feet long from tip of his tail to
do
tip
that?
of his nose. So I called town hall, of course, and they were going to take care of it. I came by about 3 hours later and it's still there. And I thought, okay, what's happening? So I texted Jeff and I said, Jeff, I think it's a health hazard. Well, what happened was the guys who normally would take care of that were out taking care of a water leak on the other side of town. And Jeff says, I'll get it. So Jeff went out and picked it up and disposed of it.
Public servant.
That's right, in the truest
Yay.
sense.
Make sure the minutes get that down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
My next,
Bill, go ahead. Yes, sir. Come up here.
council members, I'm Bill York. I live down here at 1012 Church Street. And in January, I put in a building permit request and I had it rolled out what needed to be done. They approved the permit on January the 29th. Okay, we're gonna just forget February. Okay, March the 5th, I tried to get with the utility person. And I never have got a return or anything. And I don't know whether you, other council members, are aware of what's going on. But the gas line needs to be moved for the building. Okay, I never got a response. March 18th, I tried again through
And
and I still didn't get a response. And here it is, April the 15th, and they have come down and put a couple of lines on the ground. But I need to get something done because I'm running out of time. And I'd appreciate it if we could pick it up a little bit.
duly noted.
Beg your pardon?
Duly noted.
All right, thank you.
All righty. Anybody else?
But why, excuse me, why wouldn't you give me a response?
Because I'm not sure what the response is. I'll have to ask where the project's at and why it hasn't been done yet.
I told you, 1012 Church Street.
No, I understand.
Beg your pardon?
I understand where it's at.
Yeah.
I will need to talk to our superintendent and everybody on where it's at. I can't answer your question.
Well, did you relay my message to him, didn't you, ma'am?
That you wanted to get it done, I relayed it to Jonathan,
Okay.
but I don't remember he needed to get it. Must have
Well, I don't
misunderstood.
know, but
Okay,
you do know about it now for sure.
Sure.
we're aware of it.
And I would appreciate it if we could pick it up a little bit.
All right, duly noted. Thank you. Anybody else? Open forum. Okay, go ahead, Lois. Go ahead.
I
Come
speak
up
pretty
here.
loud. I
She's
think
pretty
they'll
loud.
hear me. I was just wondering, I didn't see it on the agenda, but I thought at the open house on April 15th, they were supposed to tell the results of the plan where we took the little gold coins and voted and all that.
Yes.
I didn't see it on the agenda. Are we not going to do that tonight?
Yes, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit further down in the agenda.
Okay. that's
Some
all
some
I-
date changes, I think.
Yes, there were date
Some date
changes.
changes.
Okay, that's
yeah.
all I wondered.
Thank you.
Anybody else for open forum? All right, we'll close open forum. Moving on to old business. Some of this first few things are just really announcement. The first one being reminders, golf cart registration, bring your proof of insurance and late fees after May the 1st. This past weekend has already occurred. The next one is Saturday and Sunday, April 26th and 27th from 12 to 6 here at Town Hall. And Town Marshal will be here to help you with that registration. Any questions or anything on that, anybody? Okay. Next is reminder of Heritage Days, Historic New Harmony's Heritage Days, April 23rd through the 25th. Just a reminder that North Street will be closed from West Street over to the Athenaeum, I believe is where it's closed. And our town marshals on the hook to do some traffic control and safety stuff for that event that morning. So that's just a reminder of Heritage Days. And then townwide yard sale, May 3rd, that's a Saturday. And then Big Trash Day, May 16th, which is a Friday. I know it generally starts a day or two earlier on that. We prefer you don't. But those are just reminders on that. Okay, next we'll move on to new business. And I think, Connie, you have stuff on the codes.
I do. I had discussed this last month. I'm proposing an ordinance amendment that is in regard to the applications for zoning change and basically a plat amendment, a subdivision application. So if I could, I'll go ahead and read this for your consideration. Ordinance number 2025-3, and it's 151.03, Administrative Procedure and Regulations. So we are proposing to change section B, which is the pre-application data. The pre-application data plat shall be drawn at a scale of 50 feet to 1 inch, except that when the drawing at that scale requires more than one sheet, the plat may be drawn at a scale of 100 feet to 1 inch. Sheets shall not exceed 24 inches by 36 inches in size. So that is the scale of drawings that would be presented to the Plan Commission. Then the other section is E1B. To assist the Plan Commission in making informed decisions, a technical review committee may be appointed. The technical review committee or Plan Commission representative will meet to discuss the proposal in the town hall before the TRC hearing date. The Plan Commission will contact the applicant with an appointment time. The TRC generally includes Plan Commission members with relevant expertise, a town council member, zoning administrator, public utility specialist, fire and safety representative, civil engineer, architect, historic preservation specialist, school superintendent if applicable, and anyone else the Plan Commission deems appropriate. The applicant will be informed of the TRC hearing date, and the applicant or a designated representative with technical information regarding the submittal should attend.
Okay. These are amendments to the current code. Do we have a motion to approve the amendments to code 15103 E1B and B? I guess first would be the first B and then
And-
E1B.
Correct.
Do I have a motion for those amendments?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second, discussion. Question.
I could just, back Connie up of what we're doing here, because I'm on the planning commission too. So basically what we're doing is really just cleaning up the code to talk about if somebody wants to build a new subdivision, here's what needs to happen. The old code was a little bit outdated, and particularly that technical review committee made references to all the county officials
Right.
as opposed to the officials being people that are here in the town. It involved the county surveyor and this brings it all down to where the town has control over it. That's really what it's in the code, it's in the ordinance, so it's all got to be amended in the ordinance to make it the way we want. That's been through the planning commission, and now it's
Yeah.
kicked its way up here to actually change it in the code. So I would recommend its approval.
Okay.
You guys still can tap county help.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
yes,
Yeah,
There's no
we-
restriction there. It's
No.
just-
that's
It's
correct.
just
Good point.
giving us more control,
Good point.
right?
That is correct.
It gives the Plan Commission the ability to create a specific group of people that have relevant knowledge and expertise. So,
Yeah, I think it's a timely amendment.
Yeah.
Trying to get ready in case something ever happens.
All right, any other discussion, questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Connie, for your work, all of you for your work on that. Okay, up next we have your,
Did you do those together, or was that?
yeah,
just
we
the
did them
first
both
one?
at.
Okay.
No, we did them both.
We did them both as
Okay.
one, yeah.
There you go.
B and E1B. Okay, up next we have your public notice.
Yes,
Stuff that you want
yes.
to go over.
yes, let me find that.
This will be item number 2 under new business, public notice and notice of public hearing for the New Harmony Plan and Historic Preservation Commission.
Right, and this is relevant, Lois, to what you asked about earlier. Public notice is given that the New Harmony Plan and Historic Preservation Commission will, on the 6th day of May, 2025, at 5 p.m. local time, at the Working Men's Institute, located at 407 Tavern Street, hold a public hearing on a proposed comprehensive plan for the town of New Harmony. Said plan, if approved and adopted via resolution by the New Harmony Town Council, will promote the public health, safety, morals, convenience, order, and/or general welfare of the community, and promote efficiency and economy in the process of development. The public is advised that a copy of the plan will be on file at Town Hall and the Working Men's Institute and open for public inspection in those locations beginning April 22nd, 2025. The draft plan will also be available on the Comprehensive Plan website, which is newharmonyplan.com. It's the same one we've used the whole process. Also beginning on April 22nd. Public notice is hereby given that at said public hearing, the New Harmony Plan and Historic Preservation Commission will receive and hear comments from interested persons. Written comments may be submitted to planning@reasite.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
So May 6th,
Any
May
discussion,
6th.
anything else, anybody on that?
Nope.
Okay, all good. You reach out to Connie if you need those dates again. All right, up next, we have a resolution to post meetings on the website. Mr. Clark, I think that's got your name.
Yeah, this won't take long, but in part of the review of the code, in cleaning up the code, Nathan and I met a week ago and discussed some of the legal issues involved and everything. And one of the things that kind of jumped out was something that's real easy that we can take care of now. And so this is resolution, did she have hers 2025-3? Well, I'll read the resolution and then whether or not the
There's a
numbers.
difference between ordinances and resolutions.
I beg your pardon
So
then.
you're
So this will
good.
be resolution 2025-1. Whereas it is the intent of New Harmony Town Council to make all its regular and special meetings accessible to the public. And whereas posting such notices to the town's website is the most reasonable and necessary method of informing its public about such meetings, be it resolved that notices of all meetings in the New Harmony Town Council will be posted to its website at least 48 hours prior to its meetings. That is the resolution, and I would move that it be adopted.
I have a motion to accept the resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
A
Okay.
second. I would say, I know we've done other resolutions this year. Oh, maybe not in 2025.
I don't think we have in
apologize.
25.
You're probably right. That's what I was thinking last.
So
year. You're correct.
the issue here is there really is no provision that says how we inform the public. And council is advised that we need to have a resolution that says this is how we're going to make the public, and everybody will know when they are and where they're at. And it will be a resolution that states that moving forward. So
And-
doesn't sound like that big of a deal. It's probably something we're already doing now anyhow. But, you know, now by rule, that's how we handle it.
Is this part of the same state mandate that would be coming up this year anyway?
No,
This-
no, there,
That's for.
no,
That's
that's
for
for the
video.
video, that's for the
Yeah.
video conferencing and
Live
everything.
streaming.
That we have to do, the live streaming. There was a piece of legislation that was passed about a year ago, though. It was kind of an antiquated method that media and other sources got notified about meetings by US mail. And there became, you know, a lot of municipalities said, you know, this is crazy, why can't we just post it to our website? Well, they finally caught up and said, yeah, that's okay, we'll let you do it that way. And so this is just following up on that state lead to say, it's okay if you just post the notices on your website as opposed to sending it out to people in the mail.
Well, and if I could just add something to that as a comment, last week when we were doing the fire hydrant project, you know, we all had difficulty with figuring out how to relay the information to the public. There is no one way that people get their information. You know, not everybody looks at Facebook, not everybody reads the newspaper. So this is the central location, and we feel that, you know, the website is, because the state of Indiana allows us to use that, we feel that that's the way going forward.
And it's important that we have numerous ways of doing it, obviously, because not everybody has a computer even to go to the website, you know,
Right.
so, but thank you for that. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Can we go out of order on the agenda, on the items?
We would
Sure.
have to.
Can I move the new website, not because of the website, but it piggybacks on what we were just talking about. So we have been looking at the new website system. I hope this is as good a news to everybody else as it was to me. One of the reasons we were looking at these different website systems is online utility bill pay, communicating with constituents, which we were just talking about, online security. There's all these pieces we're trying to put together. So during the water meter hydrant thing, the county let us use their code red system. So I thought, well, it can't hurt, I'll call and talk to them. The county is perfectly fine to let us use their system forever for free. And it allows us to email, do voicemails on telephones and text. So people can go to the code red existing system, they will give us our own login, we can geographically select pieces of the town, the entire town, and each constituent can go to their system, sign up for how they want to be communicated with. We get to pick somebody, I would assume it's Ann or someone in the office, that can get it on their mobile phone at any time of day. They can post an email if there's an emergency or a water outage or whatever, and it's free.
That's great.
That's really good.
But the constituents have to sign up.
They
for
have
it.
to choose to
That's the
participate,
key,
yes.
is to sign up for it, yeah.
So, and that way too, you can choose if you want, weather alerts from the county is generally what they're trying to communicate with folks about. But then we can also use that same system for big trash day or golf cart registrations or all the things that are just particular to our town. And they are willing to let us completely piggyback on their existing subscription. So we don't have to put that on the website.
And
Yay.
there's a document out on the countertop on how to sign up for the Code Red.
And we can send that out actually through their system as well, because they want more people to sign up and use it. That's why they have it. And then we will talk about the website options next month. I'm going to keep pushing that off because this was the most immediate priority, was constituent communication. And then the bill pay and some of the other things continue to kind of affect Ann and the other employees more. So we're going to hold off on letting them have some more input on that. But I was really happy to find that out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good, real good. I think they did do that for us, right?
So we sent
the
them the
change date or
information and they posted it, and she said they're happy to do that, or they'll give us a login and one of our
Just
employees
do it
can just go
ourselves.
in there directly and
Oh,
do
that,
whatever
yeah,
we want.
that's a big deal.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Because
Yeah.
that communication with them was difficult, so.
Turned a big siren on up there too. I'm just kidding. I knew that'd get some attention up there. Okay, thank you very much, Laura.
Yeah.
That's great news for sure. All right, next up we have, meter placement bids. I kind of have that in here as a group. We had somewhat discussed, on this new meter implementation, looking at contracting somebody to come in and finish them up for us, but, in discussion I've had with our group, and I think most of you or some of you have had with our group, we feel pretty confident that we don't need to do that. Now we're gonna get that done in a pretty quickly time. They've got probably 2/3 of it done, so, and it's quite expensive, so we're gonna pass on. There's also a quote, for the gas meters, if we wanted to go that route with that, but in talking with the group too, it's not near as a tedious process or time-consuming process on that. So we're going to stay where we were, with actually where the previous board had chosen to let our guys put in these, and we're going to stay with that. Any discussion or on
Well,
that?
could
Or,
we
I mean,
hear from Jonathan about what he projects will be happening,
Sure.
where they are now,
So,
where they think they're going? What is the schedule as far as you can control?
we can't change
Yeah.
meters a week and a half or so before we read to give time to put them in the system and everything. So within about, I guess, 2 weeks, we've gotten,
You should come up here.
Stand. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Well,
Yeah,
because
you need to,
you need to be able to be
for the
heard.
mic, so otherwise nobody can hear you in your live stream.
Terry could come up with you too.
so in the last 14 days, we've gotten about, I'd say 150 or so done.
Oh.
And that was what finished out the final, or the second third of the meters, of the water meters. So we won't be able to do any meters on how the month lines up, but what's next month, the next week is the 21st maybe?
Yeah.
So starting next week, we can't do any meters, so they can get them put into the system. But then as soon as we get done reading in May 1st, May 3rd, somewhere around there, we can start putting them in again and finish out the water, which I ordered another pallet yesterday, so it should be here end of this week, beginning of next week. So
What streets do you have,
we've
generally
got-
do you have left to complete?
Areas, I guess.
Yeah, we've got most of North left, all of Granary, half of Church, and then Tavern, Steam Mill, and South on that side of Main Street,
The west side of
on the
it.
west side, yeah.
And that means they've done all the county
Yeah, Country's
meters
done,
and stuff as well.
everything,
Subdivision, I
everything
think.
south of South Street's done, and everything on the south of Church on the east side of Main is done.
Yeah.
So.
And then what about the gas meters?
So the gas meters, the programmers I'm waiting on.
Still don't even have them yet.
Yeah, I
so-
ordered 2. They haven't shipped yet, but he's going to send me his loaner so we can get started.
So do you have them?
I have some of the readers, but not all of them. I only ordered this many to start off with, like 50 or so to start off with. And so he's got with their guys to come train us on how to do it, and they're sending us their loaner until we can get ours.
So do you foresee that you'll just keep
Yep.
moving
Yep.
forward?
Yep.
Is that restrained with when you can do it? Like the water is?
Yep.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing?
Yeah, because, we gotta have time to put them into the system so we can read them, next
Okay.
week. Yep.
Okay.
So,
And that would be the
Because they-
same even if we had a contractor do it, right?
Right,
Right.
they've gotta be in the system, so when it reads, it connects to the system.
You're right.
To the billing.
so in a perfect world, are we thinking water end of May and
Yeah, perfect
gas,
world, yeah.
gas
Perfect
end
world.
of July?
Hopefully, but I
Maybe a
we
little longer.
Yeah, maybe a little longer, yeah.
Okay.
Because the gas, unlike the water, the gas we can do when it's cold out.
Yeah.
I mean, if it takes that long.
Right.
'Cause the
Well-
water would have stopped, when it was freezing, we couldn't open water pits.
Floods and rain
We
and,
couldn't open water pits.
Well, this all relates to paying these bills online, training Ann's new employee to handle all of these bills on a paper system and a digital system. Until this is really resolved, we can't, and maybe I'm incorrect with this, but we really can't do the bill pay effectively, the online bill pay, until this is done. Yeah, so,
and all this is being done between water leaks and,
well, and that's it.
and
That's it.
floods and snow and everything
Yeah,
else, so.
we've been sending two of the guys to do meters, and two of us are doing everything else, so.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you.
And I just want to say something, I want to thank Jonathan, because getting all the reads and the bills out and everything, he was instrumental in that, helping us figure all that out this
Right.
month.
Good, good deal. Thank you, Jonathan. All of y'all. Thanks for all you do. All right, we're
Just
moving.
one thing, we mentioned Carmen, new on the job, but she's here.
She's
tonight.
here?
It might be a nice time, Ann, for you to introduce her. She's been talking on the
She's-
phone when the fire hydrants were down.
I might want to get him up here too.
I am very, very happy that we've got a new billing clerk in the office that's helping me with everything and answering phones and greeting, and I was worried she was gonna leave yesterday. I had to be out of the office, but she stuck around to get the bills into the post office and paid.
She did
So
a
Carmen
great
is, Nas is our new billing clerk and here to help.
And happy to be here.
job. Yay. Glad to have you. Thank you, Ann. All righty. Next up, we have the Mr. Rod Clark going to talk about some of the more of the ordinance stuff we've been looking
Yeah,
at.
another thing I said we're gonna have a special meeting about all the ordinances, but there's a couple quick things we just needed to click off, like the one we just passed. The second one is, you can have all the codes you want, but if you don't have fines and fees attached to them, they're just words and they have really no enforcement. And our code says, and this is just in brief, any person convicted of an infraction or violation of an ordinance of the town is punishable by a penalty of an amount set by the town council from time to time. Well, at this point, those have never been set, believe it or not. So part of updating the code is going to be to come up with an entire list of all of the penalties. Okay, if you're in violation of this ordinance, this is what's going to cost you, okay? And we're working on doing that, but to click off tonight, probably the most important one is we really have never established what our traffic violation fees are going to be. You get stopped for a speeding ticket, how much is it going to cost you? Jeff and I spent some time with this, and we have talked about it, and we believe that the probably the best and most efficient way to handle this, and I'm going to pull this up just so everybody can kind of see it, is instead of the town coming up with all of our own prices and everything, there you are, Jonathan, I'm glad you stepped in. Well, basically just adopt whatever the county uses. That way, there's no confusion, because if somebody needs to pay a fine or a traffic ticket or something, they got to go to the county to do it. And that way, the county's not trying to remember what ours are and what theirs are. We'll just adopt whatever the county's using. And we felt it was important to get this one out of the way now. So whenever, Jonathan, if you need to, somebody runs a stop sign 15 times in a row and you're tired of telling them it's time to start fining them or what. I hope you don't wait 15 times, but these are basically what they would be. And these are what the county, and I've shared these with you all, so you've all had a chance to review them, but I thought I'd throw them on the screen just so everybody could kind of see what they are. Let me, there, maybe you can see them. So I would move that we adopt for our traffic violations that our fee schedule for 1099, which is the ordinance that handles the penalties, that we adopt for traffic violations, whatever the county uses. And if they change them next year, and this is probably something that we'd have to pass every year at the beginning of the year to say, here is our schedule for this year. But that's one we could probably leave pretty consistent. So my motion would be that we adopt the county fines for traffic violations as the same for ours. Posey County, I'm sorry, what did I say?
County.
County, okay, Posey County.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have a motion to adopt the same fines as Posey County has in place. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion or any questions?
Jonathan, do you have anything you want to comment on that? Oh, you probably can't talk very well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, Jonathan's been very involved. He's been very involved with all of this.
You're good with all this, right?
Yeah.
Well, and some of our sheriff deputies who serve as our deputies, our deputy officers, then it's consistent. They're not forgetting what the fine is here, and just all.
And I've learned in talking with Jonathan and Aaron and whoever too that everything's on their computers now, so they just kind of punch in what your offense is, and it pops up, and everything is still already in place that way. Am I correct, Jonathan, the way it is? So, okay.
Do we need to put this in an ordinance format for all of you to sign, or you're just gonna?
It probably does, because it's a part and parcel to.
Meaning the penalty phase.
Because this says that a penalty amount is set by council from time to time.
It should be attached to the ordinance.
An attachment to the ordinance with
I
a penalty schedule
Yeah.
or something.
And maybe a subsection of that ordinance,
Okay,
not unlike the salary ordinance.
right.
Okay.
Well, we can pass it
Approve it.
tonight.
We can approve it.
Essentially, we're amending the ordinance then.
Okay.
And we can pass this tonight, and then we can work on the paperwork, and then you can get it to us for us all to sign later.
Okay.
Correct?
According to this.
Okay. And I think we're ready.
Work with Nathan. Okay. All right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Thanks.
You bet.
Thanks, Jonathan. All right, up next we have, let's see, where were we about? Church Street Water Project, yeah.
Okay, we've talked about this several times. We talked about it last month. The state of Indiana plans to do a resurfacing project on Church Street. They're going to put the bids out for that project probably this fall. It'll probably be scheduled for next summer. And we've talked about the fact that we have water service lines that feed off of the main underneath that street. There are about 40 of them that have not been replaced in the last 20 to 25 years. We think it's probably prudent that we go ahead and get those all changed, all 40 of them. Go ahead and get those changed. That way, there's a lot less risk that one of those service lines is going to go bad, and then we got to come out and cut up the new road and do a patch job. It's better that and even the former council talked about this project of getting this done, and here it is upon us. So what is open for discussion tonight is for us to go ahead and put this project out for bids. It's probably going to cost up to $175,000, $200,000 project. So it's a pretty big deal. It's big enough that we'll have to put it out for bids. So what I would propose is that we work between our superintendent and our clerk and our attorney to put together the bid proposal, to put it out and do the advertisement for that project. That would be my motion, that we go ahead and move forward now. Once we get the bids, I mean, we can always reject them all and say, well, we're not going to do it. We can still change our mind about the project, but go ahead and advertise the bids.
All right, we have a motion to proceed with planning on the water works on Church Street with our attorney and planning and
And Ann and
water.
Jonathan, yeah. I've already asked Jonathan, okay, you need to, Jonathan will have to prepare the specifications,
Okay.
meaning this is the size line, the material, the backfill, the asphalt. I mean, it all has to be totally laid out, exactly what's, everybody's bidding on the same thing.
Let's get a second, and then if we need to discuss more.
I'll make the second.
Okay, now, I'm sorry. Now,
Now you're
discussion, any other discussion on that? And Mr. Modlin, good with helping us get that all planned out and stuff?
Is
John?
there a way we can, I mean, I know the ideal would be to do it all at once. Is there a way, but I'm afraid that's gonna be a horribly big, terrible number. Is there any kind of logical way to divide it into pieces for bids? I don't know.
think
I
it
don't know enough about it to really know, but,
That might
pardon?
You did it by block.
be
Well, the one thing is just make sure we get it done prior to
paving, the new road.
the state coming in.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if we have time for that.
Well, I think that'll be part of the bid process and the contractors that looking at it.
If we,
and
well,
Creating a plan of how,
it'll be all or nothing, I guess, then.
probably.
You could always get a bid that says, here's, do it all, or do it by block and compare the
That's
prices.
kind of what I was thinking.
Well, and just
but
have to have
I
a
don't know.
time frame if you're gonna do it that way. You know, I mean, to set the time frame.
Well, if you
That's
set
part
up
of
the
this-
bid process
Yeah.
to be that way,
Yeah.
then you don't have to get second bids for part of it, you know?
Right.
But we're thinking it has to be done by next summer.
By the time the
Yes.
Church
Well, they
Street
said
gets
spring
redone.
is when it might happen,
Yeah.
so that could
Well,
be
they're putting the
March.
bids, they're putting the bids out for the project in the fall.
In
November.
November,
Yeah,
and then they said early spring, or early to mid-spring, they would probably start working, is that correct?
That's
what I
right.
heard? Yeah.
We did ask them.
We were
not to
with
do
NDOT.
We did ask them to make sure it was done before Coots Fest.
Okay,
Oh, they're
Any
gonna put it
discussion?
out for bid in October, because we had, at the last meeting, it was gonna be at the end of this month.
no,
They were gonna put the bids out.
well, when we sat with NDOT in Mount Vernon
Yeah.
a couple months ago, it was November, but, you know, things get subject to change. They said November and then work start in early to mid-spring,
Okay,
that's what they said, so,
okay.
unless something's changed, so. Okay, I have a motion to move forward with that project and planning to let bids on the water project on Church Street prior to being reworked and redone by NDOT. So, yes, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thanks again. Thank you, Nathan, for helping us get that going too, the bid process. Okay, let's see, next was Antique Show. I'm gonna punt that one on down the road. I have still got some work to do as far as the car cruise in, which is a part of that same weekend with Alex, and we're still gotta tie down on for sure what streets we're gonna close as far as that goes. So that'll be moving to May. Antique Show, as far as that permit, that half of it, it's all the same as it has been for the last 22 years, so. But we will kick that till May. Okay, Ann, if you'll put that back on the agenda for May. Okay, next, the Owen McClure experiment resolution.
Fireflies.
I'm sorry,
Firefly.
Firefly, skip Firefly, sorry. I do that to you a lot, I think, though. Okay, Diane Sanders is here from Historic and Women Harmony, and she's co-chairing this event, so.
I'm Diane Sanders. I am here not on Historic New Harmony's behalf, but I'm here on One New Harmony's behalf. I'm co-chair of the Firefly Festival. It will be June 27th and 28th this year. Most of the activities will be happening at the Athenaeum Visitor Center, which is of course state property. So what we're coming to you for is to use the trails to do our nighttime tours. And also I'm sure there'll be some daytime use of those trails as well to go see the fireflies. The other thing is on June 28th, which is Saturday, Starting around 6 a.m. is when we'll start setting up, but we're going to be adding a run/walk this year. So we're working with Tri-State Fitness to do this run and walk. It would be a 2 and 4 mile route going up, east on North Street, turning onto Main Street and using the trails system, and then it'll eventually wrap around back to the Athenaeum, with the Athenaeum being the start and finish. So we would need North Street closed between Arthur and Main Street from like 6 to 10 in the morning.
For the run.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Any questions? We have, they've presented their permit, and the biggest thing is closing North Street as far as we're concerned for the morning, and it's 6 to 10. They have their insurance form here for the event. They have maps of the, I guess that's the Firefly stuff, and the running route and stuff as well. So everything seems to be in place here, and you all have had a chance to look at it. Stuff, and there's the insurance liability. So we have a motion to approve the Firefly Festival event.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Diane, and One New Harmony, and Ms. Arnberg.
Second one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, she's next too. Sorry.
All right, so switching hats here, I'm now coming to you as Historic New Harmony Assistant Director, as well as the Chair of the Owen McClure Bicentennial Committee. Starting May 1st is when we are hoping to start the celebration of Robert Owen's experiment here in New Harmony, going through June 1st of 2027. So May 1st is when the Constitution of the First Society was established. June 1st is when Robert Owen left for the last time. So this is just a celebration over the next 2 years of this experiment. We'll be doing some projects and activities during this time. This is really being spurred on by May 1st, we're hoping to have a Zoom program with Newtown, Wales. And that's the birthplace and death place of Robert Owen. They're doing a big exhibit, and they've got their town board on board as well. So hoping to have a big celebration, and would love to have this resolution as part of that.
Nice. All right. Do you have the resolution?
I do.
Yeah, you're gonna read?
Diane asked me because
Yes.
I'm involved with historic a little bit too, so she gave it to me to read. This would be Resolution 2025-2. The Town of New Harmony, Indiana, and the Owen McClure Experiment Bicentennial. This is a resolution of Town Board of New Harmony, Indiana, recognizing the bicentennial of Robert Owen's Community of Equality in New Harmony, Indiana. Whereas Robert Owen was born in Newtown, Wales in 1771 and grew up to become a wealthy cotton mill owner and social reformer from New Lanark, Scotland. Whereas he envisioned creating a new moral world in the United States, so he purchased the specified property of Harmony Society in New Harmony on the Wabash on April 26, 1825. He would put his social theories to test by establishing a community of equality. And whereas the Constitution for the Preliminary Society was established on May 1st, 1825, and whereas William McClure agreed to finance Robert Owen's venture in November of 1825 and traveled to New Harmony with fellow natural scientists and educators on the keel boat, the Philanthropist, also known as the Boatload of Knowledge, and arrived on January 23rd, 1826. Whereas members of the Preliminary Society resolved to form the Community of Equality and establish a new constitution on February 5th, 1826. And by the way, while I'm reading this, I think I have a copy of it. Maybe you can all read it over my shoulder. Here we go. There you go. Whereas Robert Owen's Community of Equality was first attempt at utopian socialism in the United States, I might argue in the world, but I won't contest you on that one, which prompted several other Owenite experiments in the United States and around the world, Whereas Robert Owen's Community of Equality brought significant contributions to American scientific and educational theory, study and practice through the work of Robert Owen's children and the scientists and educators who remained in New Harmony following the dissolution of the experiment. Now, therefore, the Town Board of New Harmony does resolve that the Town Board of New Harmony hereby resolves that the bicentennial of Robert Owen's Community of Equality shall commence on May 1st, 2025 and extend through June 1st, 2027.
Thank you, sir.
That is the resolution, and I would move that we adopt.
You move that we adopt Resolution 2025-2. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion? Thank you, Diane, for your work on this, and thanks, Rod, for reading it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thanks again. Thanks,
And
sir.
we will provide more information about that program with Newtown Wells.
Sure.
It is a
Thank you.
pretty big deal in our town's history, I might add.
It is. Okay. We've already done the new website system. Unless you have anything to add, you good there?
We'll talk about it more next month, but we have gotten a lot of things online. The code will be public soon, is it?
Soon, we
Soon.
haven't gotten it yet,
So
but
the ordinances will be
anytime.
online. We're gonna get the text, phone call system online. I was trying to get a list of things we actually did get done. So we've made progress. The other things we're looking to finish now is online security, of course, of whatever information is on there, document and cloud storage of archives of the town information, forms for golf cart registration or a tree that needs to come down, getting all of that on the website, and the payment processing is the big one. So hopefully once the meters are all done, maybe end of summer, we're down to 3 choices, so we'll have it nailed down by then.
Good deal. Thank you so much. Very important moving forward with that, that's for sure. Okay, next up, I would like to have one of you make a motion, I guess, to amend the agenda for an addition on an emergency quote that we have put together.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now, and to discuss, we have Jonathan and Terry back there. We have one of our 2 lawnmowers bit the dust this week, so we are in desperate need of a new one. I have put together a quote from Yonkers in Mount Vernon. They have sold 2 of the same mowers that I got some specs from the guys from that they would like to see us have. They're really good. It's a Skag mowers that they sell over there in Mount Vernon. I passed around to each of you the quote that I have. I can read it if you want, and I do have pictures here of what, Jonathan, I think you have a copy of the quote out there. I think I gave Terry one, but if there's any input further, that's the bagger. But it's the quote is from Yonkers, as I said. Oh, that's not it. What I do with it?
here it is. Is this?
I got some new paper. Okay, here we go. The Moore quote for the city of New Harmony, everything is in stock and can be delivered immediately. In this quote, we have it with or without a bagger. There's been a request, or we talked about this past fall, a bagger for leaves in the park, which would make that a much easier, less time-consuming process, and probably a cleaner process, I would think. So those are quite expensive as well. But it's a 2025 Skag Turf Tiger 2 61-inch 40 horsepower Vanguard. I know we talked about a different motor, but I was urged to get, this was a sturdier, heavy duty, has a lot better results that they've had with the Vanguard. I think it's a 40 horsepower. List price was $18,749 for the Moore. With a 20% discount that the government gives, that we get as a municipality, it brings the price down to $14,999. He says government pricing. So it says Turf Tigers are shaft driven, have horizontal shaft engines, 24-hour inherent life with 12 miles per hour mowing speeds. Have hydrostat transmission with separate pumps and motors, mounted suspension seat, under seat fuel tank with low center of gravity, 12-gallon. Turf Tigers have double tube frames for stability. And then the bagger was $3,099 less 20% was $24.79 for government pricing. And then the install kit also that you have to have for that was another $1,440 for government pricing. So that's the quote. We can go one or the other or both, or we can do nothing, whatever we choose to do, but we'll only have one guy cutting grass for a little while if we just choose to do nothing. I did shop around, actually we shopped around for some of these prices in the fall as well when we were talking about the bagger. I didn't get dual quotes. I'm not required to get dual quotes or multiple quotes on it, but I do have some friends in the business, not there, but other places that sell some of the same more. So the pricing, the MSRP was exactly the same for the same more at other places. We would just be a little more convenient in servicing it here in Mount Vernon. And it has a 2-year unlimited hour warranty that comes with this more. So would be your pleasure.
Why wouldn't we go ahead and get the bagger and the kit? I mean, why wouldn't we just go ahead and do that? Because we talked about it last fall, that we needed it.
Are you making that motion?
I'll make that motion that we.
We'll discuss, if you want to make that
I'll
motion.
make the motion that we buy the mower, the bagger, and the install kit for a price of, a government price of $18,918.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Discussion. And in talking to actually the owner who I was sitting with today, we can do that. We can buy it all now. We can get that other piece in the fall. If we're not going to use it till then, I think the guys have told me they're probably not going to do much grass. It's pretty much going to be for leaves. Maybe the fire department has some excess grass. It's an easy off and on install, putting it on. He said we could even buy it and come get it this fall if we didn't want to sit on it, so just so you know that. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on the need of the mower? It's a very good mower, very heavy duty. It's not what they have now. But it's, I failed to say this, but he just sold two to the city of Mount Vernon, exact same mowers, and to their parks department as well. So he sold 4 to them here in the last little bit, so.
My only question is, are we really sure that Terry's just not pulling the cord hard enough to get the old one started?
Well, it's a key.
Oh.
Any other discussion? Any questions? You two got any input, anything seems sufficient to what your needs are?
That's serviced by them.
Yes, serviced by them, yes, and they'll deliver it.
See, we do all
Pick
the
it up.
servicing of ours.
Yeah, so, yes. 2-year warranty, unlimited miles, hours, not miles.
Can we get anything for the junk
That's
we
where
have?
that thing is still up in the air. What it sounds like is it was gonna cost more to fix it probably
Than
than
it's
it's worth,
It's 10 years old and got a lot of hours on it.
hours.
Scrap.
Okay. All in favor?
Hi.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Quit breaking things.
Take care of it. That's only for Robert to drive. Okay, we have approval of claims.
All right, see you there.
Motion to approve the claims.
I move we approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor or questions or any concerns? Questions?
We already signed this one, didn't we?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
You
Motion
got
to
that
adjourn?
in there?
Motion to
I don't know
adjourn?
where it is. So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Who moved? Moved second.
Moved second. Thank you all. Whew.